Well, hello there. Hi. I'm so happy to see you joining me today. I'm just checking that we're all good to go. This is episode 17 in the series of Coffee with Hannele Korhonen, Happy Customers and Happy Lawyers. And you are most warmly welcome. My name is Hannele. I'm from Lawyers Design School, and in these weekly live sessions, you will get actionable advice and tips on how to get more happy clients and make yourself a happy lawyer too with the help of legal design thinking. This is supposed to be an interactive session, so if you have any questions or you want to comment on anything, the comment box below is open, so feel free to use it. Today we are diving into legal design trends. So we are looking at what are the silent and sometimes not that silent signals we get around legal design and what those trends can mean to you, whether it's inspiration or insight or next step in your path to the world of legal design. Let me first explain where I'm coming from on this topic. I'm really fortunate to be able to work with legal professionals and teams in legal design workshops. And even though I'm the teacher or facilitator in those workshops, every single time I learn so much myself. And in those workshops and in discussions with legal professionals, I get to learn what's frustrating lawyers in their work and business right now, and how lawyers work with their clients and how they develop their business and what kind of questions they have in that. And what's super interesting is that, of course, how lawyers see legal design thinking and its role in transforming the entire industry, because that's what legal design is doing at the moment. It's really shaping our entire profession. And I gather this data throughout the journey I have with the legal teams, from the moment they contact me for the first time until we have our workshop or training, and then when it's ended. And this kind of data is golden. You cannot get it anywhere other than talking with your customers and most of all working together with them, because this kind of information and data does not really exist in anyone's head so that they could put it into words. And the understanding kind of emerges in the discussions and in the workshops experientially by doing the work together. So that's why we get to learn what's trending right now around legal design in real life and how it's transforming lawyers in their everyday work. So today I wanted to share with you some of the nuggets we've learned along the way, and I will discuss the 5 legal design trends in 2022. The first trend about legal design is really kind of foundational one. We see that legal teams around the world are building the mindset for innovation and transformation, and that the teams are exploring legal design thinking as a way to do that, kind of as a way to foster the new mindset. In other words, the teams are building their capacity to be able to innovate and transform their work, processes, or services. And legal design thinking is the how in all of this. And in turn, this means that quite often legal teams are not going directly for concrete things like designing contracts or legal products, at least not right away. Instead, they are, and this is very wise in my opinion, building the foundation first. The mindset, how you develop and strengthen the designerly way of thinking and approaching legal work, instead of looking at it from a purely lawyerly perspective. And we can also see the significance of building the team capacity first in the results that the teams get from the legal design work. If the team and lawyers do not have any legal design mindset on which they can then build legal innovation and transformation, it's so much more difficult to get the real results. There's no soil to grow. But if you include the mindset and the team capacity in the roadmap, The results are then real, and from that success, you get both commitment and momentum to continue with legal design thinking. Of course, there are always differences between different teams, and actually some interesting cultural differences as well regarding teams' entry point to legal design. But this is the big picture that we see. The second legal design trend is that companies are more and more willing to bring in their whole team to legal design thinking. And not only the legal team, but anyone working with legal affairs across the organization. The companies are beginning to see the value of spreading the word and also making legal design tools available for everyone. And this means that increasingly legal design is not considered as an isolated effort for a specific innovation team or people who are dedicated to develop processes and operations. So legal design is seen to provide tools for everyone, really. And that's, of course, very much the case, what we are promoting, that everyone should have access to legal design skills and tools. So I'm hopeful that this would signal a bigger shift in the way that organizations approach creativity, innovation, and change, that these should be in everyone's job description, whether they are a professional, a developer, or designer or not. And the thing is that if you deliberately open up the space for more voices, you then strengthen the lawyer's agency over their own work. And you also build confidence that anyone, including lawyers, are able to come up with new ideas and improve the way you serve your clients. And this particular trend is the one that I'm really happy about. I'm all about promoting everyone's ability and right to design without taking anything out of the professional designers' table. Because the more we understand and value good design, the more we are capable and also willing to involve professional designers in the process when it's needed. So everybody wins. The third trend is that lawyers want to get real results from a legal design project, big or small. They want to see the ROI, the return on invest of the effort. And what this means in practice, that for lawyers, the value or the benefit they get from using legal design needs to be higher than the cost they put in the effort. Well, it makes sense, yeah. One question that I get a lot and that reveals this need is that lawyers many times ask how they can sell legal design to their boss, their manager or CEO or CFO. And the lawyers themselves might clearly see the need for building the legal design mindset or improving the client experience or designing new services, but they need their boss to get on board too, because that's where the money and resources are. So managers who sit on the money might not care so much about the intangible benefits from legal design, but they do understand money. And as legal design thinking becomes more mature and we move along with the adoption curve, we need to be able to speak about money and the business case for using legal design thinking. But luckily, we have a growing number of great examples of the legal design ROI, and defining and measuring ROI. It's really useful exercise, and they actually prove that it's worthwhile looking into ways of scaling legal design doing rather than just sticking with kind of scattered one-time efforts in different parts of the organization. The fourth trend is quite an obvious one, and I've talked about this a lot in these episodes. We see that understanding of the importance of client experience in the legal industry is growing exponentially. And while the rest of the world has figured this out already 20 years ago, lawyers and the legal profession are only now starting to enter into the experience economy. And legal teams are kind of waking up to the fact that they do create client experiences in everything they do, whether they pay attention to it or not. People always experience the cooperation or service with lawyers in some way, and unfortunately, as we probably know, the experience is still many times really bad. So it's quite eye-opening for many lawyers to realize that client experience is, first of all, not irrelevant in legal business, and also that it's not anything fluffy or beyond our control, but it's made of concrete elements that we can work on to improve with legal design. Another thing related to client experience is that while you might think that this whole dilemma concerns only law firms who have external clients, but it's also in-house teams who begin to understand that client experience is very relevant for them too, and that client experience in-house work also needs work in relation to their internal clients like management or salespeople or sourcing organization. So the trend related to the rise of client experience in law affects really everyone working in legal space, as it should. And at the same time, this ties into the growing awareness of legal design thinking as a strategic tool for lawyers. Okay, but then we move on to the fifth and final trend. We see that the lawyers are looking for legal design tools that they can use right away. Legal professionals want and need the legal design thinking content and tools to be highly relevant for them and something that they can start using immediately. The way lawyers many times express their expectations for a legal design workshop or a legal design course is that I want to learn something that I can use right now. Practical, concrete, easy hands-on tools. And this is very understandable and human. We're all busy and our days are full already as it is. So there's no time for anything nice to know, or you might find this useful in the future. And this trend is also in line with the science about the way adults learn. We learn and implement the stuff we find useful and applicable to our current challenges, to our situation right now. I sometimes call this stock cube learning, if that makes sense in English. Our attention span and capacity to implement new concepts is very limited as adults, so everything we learn has to be really highly relevant and also feel personal. Like, how can I apply this concept to my work right away? And then if the situation changes and we face new challenges, we go out to find working solutions for those new challenges. But we don't learn something new just for the heck of it. That's a bit sad, but I think that you can relate. We just don't have the time, even if we wanted to. But this challenges the way we plan and prepare legal design workshops and legal design projects. They cannot be one size fits all, but tailored to meet the needs of different participants. And this is how we build our workshops in Lawyers Design School in order to maximize the results you get out of them. It's a non-stop process, but very rewarding, and the impact is huge. So there you have it, the 5 legal design trends shaping the legal profession in 2022. Now it's your turn. What did you learn today? Are you ready to start experimenting with legal design thinking in your work? Be sure to follow the next episodes where I will be sharing more insight on legal design thinking in real life. Thank you for joining today, and I'd love to hear from you. So please leave a comment or drop me a direct message to continue the discussion for happy clients and happy lawyers. Bye for now.